And we're live. It's AtlanticScrum. Hello. Sorry about the late start. Let's go screen share. We've got somebody, and Paul and Sam and John in the house. And I guess, well, we might end up with, well, let's start with the people focused. They all pile in a while. Shall we just start with local support? Why don't we? So. Main things, I told the client that we were live on the system, and then I realized I should have, well, I hadn't double checked that the emails were working on the production server, so I think the client invited some people, and I don't think the emails went out. Anyway, I think I've now set up the email working, but anyway, that's not so good. I had a good pairing session with John yesterday. Any other updates on the local support side?
I'm still working on a refactor for our pairing session. Sorry, Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, I was supposed to work with David after the Scrum on finishing up with the volunteer flags feature.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
He hasn't turned up yet, so I'll just wait for him.
Yeah, no, I saw David in the Euroscrum, and yeah, he talked about that, and yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm like, I guess, I mean, I don't know. There's always, I'm kind of kicking myself about. I was sort of like, oh, I don't need to test the emailing thing, although because I was thinking, right, we haven't pushed out the invitations bug feature, so the invitations framework should be the same. But of course, we're now on new ninefold framework, so. Yeah, I guess what one would sensibly do is, is there a way I can quickly generate? Go on.
If you can look in the production database for users invited not accepted, you might want to delete a bunch of them.
Yeah, I mean the thing that was the other thing. So I got set up with ninefold on the command line. So, but and I can like. It's asking me for a password, which doesn't seem to be the. I mean, this is like app user at. I'm not sure what this password should be. I guess I'm getting to the point there where I should, rather than waiting for a reset to show up, I should be trying to. The password that I use here, which for some reason this one always seems to be defaulted it to wrong. That password doesn't seem to work from the.
By the way, how do you know that the emails didn't get sent?
Because we've got it set up so that they CC me when they get sent.
Right. Okay.
That was one of the things. I'm really glad I had that in place, because otherwise we'd be sitting here and thinking, right, well, the email, no, everybody's ignoring our emails. Yeah. But I guess I'm gonna and then see the ninefold little chat thing. Kind of appear. I'm not sure what the function is of it appearing or not appearing. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
Have your heels together.
Yeah. So I guess that's the local support business. I mean, we had a good day of local supporting yesterday. We are in principle live on ninefold. Yeah. I mean, it's now. We'll keep the Heroku instances up in case we have to quickly move back. But yeah, this is the thing is now. All those little things of like that we're used to doing and we know how to do on Heroku, we will discover if we can do them quite in the way that we want on ninefold. But I think that's everything, unless there's any other local support business. I guess the next client meeting will be on Tuesday. One thing before I forget it, so from next week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I'm going to be in Makers, doing pairing with the students. I think in the first instance. And I'll be doing scrums. I'm not sure that I can easily host a full, the AtlanticScrum time on Monday, a long meeting. And I was wondering about whether we should be switching our main meeting day, or even, I don't know, maybe we don't. Oh God, my brain. I don't know if is there a different. Sorry to kind of like go from from projects to this, but I keep meaning to mention it. Do we need the full length meeting? Should the full length meeting be at a random time? Do we need a regular day? What do you think, everyone?
I think that we could have short meetings in general, and then
Yeah.
encourage people to have project-specific meetings.
Right. Right. Yes, we could say that we're gonna we'll just continue to have short meetings, and if we need longer meeting, if we need planning retrospective meetings, then they should be arranged separately.
Right.
That seems like a reasonable proposal. Yeah. Anybody? What does anybody else think of that? I guess that's roaring approval or roaring disapproval, but either
Great
way.
idea.
There you go.
Brilliant, in fact.
Yes, yes. So, and I think that also says a problem that we don't have the weekly meeting actually specified on the brain on the Agile Ventures events framework. So that would allow us actually to fall into line with what Agile Ventures says we're doing, and we won't confuse Christian again with having like a longer meeting that didn't want to get started preparing. So that's that. Okay. So let's move from that. I think that would be a good thing. We should tell lots of people about that. I should move us over to Graders. Paul, Graders, well done with your handling of that incident last night. Because if I'd been asleep, then there wouldn't have been anybody else to. That was just sort of ironic that you were doing that, and I could have been asleep. And I thought, oh, it's so lucky that I was up at that time to be able to do that thing. Anyway.
I'd never really cruised the chat except for just happened to do it. That was weird.
Go on.
So yeah, that thing is crashing, and then I was just going to take a look at that today. There's actually another bug with the same error message.
Yeah, right. And that's something we could look at. And I guess actually maybe now, and I think I finished reviewing and preparing all of the lecture materials for week 1, which is ready for release. So the next thing will be look at homework 1. So if you're free after I've got some coffee, then
Sure.
we could be looking at these things. Yeah. So, but we are, thanks to particularly, yesterday we had a very successful pairing with Paul. We got major thanks to Paul for helping get the new grader up running on 1404, and Brain Engage. Yes, so we are actually the mess of last week is in danger of being all cleared up, which would be lovely. Which is actually we're now all of the grading for the current instance of the MOOC is going on this new grader running on 1404 because last night when it went down, so Paul didn't have access to the new production grader, but cleverly went in and adjusted the XML submission forms in the edX instance to point to the new production grader, even though he didn't have access to it. So well done, Paul.
We should
go on.
probably check to make sure those are still running fine. I haven't looked at the chat this morning.
Yeah. I'm sort of like assuming that people will be screaming at me if they. But yes, we should certainly be reviewing everything. Indeed. Cool. Okay, but that's probably as much as everybody else wants to know about the auto graders at the moment. Is there? I guess there are other projects. Website 1. I've been encountering some more errors on. I filed a bug report for. I feel like it would be so lovely if we could have that feature address that was the one that makes the. And there's a problem that you were just facing there, John, is that we'd gone past the time allotted for Atlantic Scrum, and so immediately it was then telling you American Scrum in the future, and it was not. We really want it so that for the let's say 20 minutes that the Scrum is in session, it should be displaying Scrum is live now. Join now. Scrum live. And we do have a feature for that, which Brian has taken ownership for, but I don't see Brian very often. But if anybody's got, actually, Sam Pretty, you do occasionally work on website 1. Anybody who's got
frequently, yeah. So
yeah.
Any particular story you wanted to take me?
Well, I think this I would say is the key story. There are various bits and pieces that need fixing or whatever, but I think this is the key. Can I go to that somehow? If I go to that, will it take me to the live thing? It must be. It's not started. So, but is it in the icebox or user can follow event? It just seems like it's the. I don't know where it is. I can find it in search, and I don't know if it's in the icebox. I guess sensibly I will drag it over here and just say like it must be. Yeah, have event countdown show link to live event. Yeah, I mean, I would just, yeah, and as Brian, maybe start has been clicked on it, but let's just move that to the top of the list there. This is, I think, this is just so extraordinarily important because this is what allows people who are browsing Agile Ventures who just happen to see that the Scrum is on, you know, to kind of come and then, oh, Scrum Live, I could just jump in. But they can't ever see that on the homepage at the moment. I mean, I may be wrong.
Okay.
So
you want to display it for the duration of the Scrum, and if it yeah, sure.
For a hard-coded amount of time,
well,
right?
I think in the first instance, a hard cut. Yeah, clearly in the long run, it would be lovely to have like one fantastic integration with G Plus and.
I mean, when the Hangout is created, like we need to specify a duration for the Scrum. So.
No, but the Scrums by default should be 15 minutes. So.
Okay.
Also, we want to make this as simple as possible. So I think, I mean, of course, Brian has mentioned this. So if you can coordinate with Brian's clicked start on it, I think. So if you can coordinate with Brian. But so if I just, yeah. So, you know, the key thing here is like in the first instance, for and I would say 20 minutes because they often overrun a little bit, and it's like, you know, like what should we say? 15 minutes? Okay, for 15 minutes, hard coded. The from the actual start time of the Scrum, the link to the Scrum should be on the home page with some text like Scrum is live.
I believe the text is already ready. Like looking at the JavaScript, last I checked, there already is like the support for it announcing being live.
Yeah, and I think Brian fantastically did. I think if you go to yeah, right. But it's not actually. I thought I saw some sort of. I guess we're over 15 minutes now since the start of the Scrum. Bad Sam. Bad Scrum Master.
No, it's just 10 minutes till now.
No, I think the Scrum is 2:15 p.m. UTC, and we're now. So I think maybe that feature functionality is working in this like cornery thing here, but it's not working on the homepage, which is of course the critical thing. Anyway, and I think the reason I say that I think that's particularly critical is I think that the process of bringing more people in and getting more people involved rests a good proportion of this. And another thing that I need to do, which is to add, you know, better text to all of these things and then hook that up and so on. Anyway,
that'd be cool to have the portholes be a little view into the running Scrum because you know.
Oh, good! Would that be awesome?
You got 4 of them, right? And each one could be a Scrum around the world, right?
Yeah, that would be very cool. I mean, I think you know what I have just would just orgasm over, as they say, for a long time is to have you know a whole panel here of all of the. You'd have little portals into all of the pairing sessions. You could see like a live thing of like the pairing sessions going on, and like this one's about Ruby and Rails, this is Python, this is JavaScript, whatever, and you could just like dip into whichever pairing session was going on. You know, I mean, we're almost like if we look now, what's happening with the MOOC. I mean, this is the thing is that with the MOOC, look at this upcoming events for edX SaaS. Look, we've got people doing totally back-to-back. What's this? Can you ask in a group chat or forum?
Sam, can I get a link for that community in the group chat, like the edX SaaS community?
Yeah, I mean, this is where we're asking all of the students who are doing the MOOC to post their pairing sessions for the doing the homeworks. And we've been kind of more aggressive about asking them to do pairing this time, and it's even more wall to wall than it was when we did it last year. So and look at this, we've got more members in edX SaaS than the entire edX G+ community, and that's saying not very much, but okay. I think I've rambled on long enough from having just woken up from sleep. There are other projects. Pete's not here to talk about Cordelia, although I think it's the social media campaign is his big thing. He was just mentioning. Oh, good. See, and then okay, well, cool. Yes, somebody responding positively to me. That's right. I think Pete. I'll just highlight this is from the Skype thing. Pete mentioned in here, he said something about, oh yes, a web service to handle time billing of open source projects via Git and Pivotal data would be lovely. Yes. We need new recruits. Yes. Suggested to the MOOC students. Yes, we'll see. Okay. Is there any
Christian here? Did you see Christian joined us?
I did see Christian joined us. I referred to him obliquely.
Yeah.
I was just about to move to. Is there anybody else who wants to say anything about any sorts of projects or anything at all that we need to talk about as a group? Christian, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I did a pairing session this morning on the homework, so I can confirm your new autograder works because we uploaded it. And
right, great. Yes, David mentioned that he was pairing with you and saying how much he enjoyed it. Yes.
Thanks, Sam Pretty, for helping me out last week. I've got that that merge pull request has now been accepted and is in. So I'm back now, and I need to pair up with someone on writing my cucumber steps. I'm a bit stuck at the moment.
Which project is that for?
That's website 1, voted an article up and down.
Right. Lovely. Okay, well, maybe Sam Pretty or John might be available to pair with you on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, thanks.
All right, cool. Yeah, John, if you set up an autograder hangout, I'll join you after coffee, or during coffee. Once as soon as I've got some coffee, some more caffeine in this room with me.
We'll let Paul do that.
Yeah, and then yeah. So sounds like Sam Pretty, are you available for pairing now, or we'll catch you later?
I'm later.
Okay, cool. All right. So John, Christian, Sam, Paul. Good stuff. I think we'll call that a wrap.
I'll probably monitor the IRC on the forum in the meantime.
Sure. Cool. Thanks very much.
Yeah, by the way, like, there's this new user who's just closing all the study group posts as off topic. What do you think about that, like?
I think that's excessive. I mean, he's not actually closing them, right? He's just making that recommendation.
Yeah, I mean flagging it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's, I'm starting to feel like I really, I don't know, like, I was like, oh, Stack Exchange, that's going to be awesome because I love Stack Overflow. But to be honest, I think we kind of, people have been saying like that you want to be able to just have a discussion, right? And, anyway, so I think, I've responded to him in one of the posts and said, look, we don't have to have everything being, I think we're going to have to review, the whole, maybe we've got guidelines somewhere that are saying like everything should be this, that, or the other. It's I think we really don't want to be that draconian. I think we want to be very gentle with people coming in and allow them. If somebody is saying something, like I did, with this person. I guess one could say, I'm being, inappropriate with this person here who's asking me an individual question in G+ or whatever it is, and I've come back and I've said, can you ask him group chat in the forum? Which what I would love to be able to do is press a button here that would sort of teleport his thing into a group chat thing. But I think when people are asking questions in the so this is actually the one here, right? This is a great suggestion from Laurent about this Git branching tutorial that's very sensible to be shared with the students, and I don't think there's any reason why every single one of these things posted here needs to be a question, right? It can be a suggestion, right? What are people?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Like with the Stack Exchange philosophy, one thing that could be done with this question, is to convert it into question answer format. But I think it's perfectly fine as the way it is.
Yeah, it's like you could just adjust the title to be like, so what do you think of this Git graphical tutorial? Which then anyway, yeah. So I think I don't know who this Lego Stormtrooper is, but anyway, we'll see. And then also, yeah, we need. I'm frustrated that the Skype bridges are down, and the big thing I think is about maybe should we set up a Slack instance for I wonder actually, I might propose this to Armando, I wonder if we could set up a Slack instance around Sourcebook info, right, and generate Sourcebook info email addresses for some people, the same way that we have a Slack instance around. I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm going to have to stop there and get some coffee. To be continued. Yes.